All right. I am waiting. Let me change my glasses. I am waiting for the click. I am waiting for the click. Take the lenses out so it doesn't you guys don't see the refraction. There's the click. There's the click. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Donovan Sadiq. As you guys know, I am Donovan Sadiq, nationally known as the Recovering Democrat, also known as the Black Yul Brynner. Very hot out here. It is June 3rd, 2025. Happy anniversary to my uncle and aunt, Dries and Auntie Daisy. 19 years of marriage. My uncle Dries is a year older than me. And it's so sad in our generation that we see people that have been married 20 plus years, 15 years. And it's like almost unheard of. It's like, it's crazy. And they did it. So 19 years of marriage, 4 children. They're living it and they're doing it. And that's what life's supposed to be about. We are not supposed to be growing old by ourselves, because as our kids go on to their life, my wife and I are supposed to take care of each other and not be a burden on our children. That's why all of this single, strong, independent woman stuff, it's bullshit. Feminism is a virus to culture. That's why you go outside these Western countries, they don't play with that feminism stuff because it is destructive to cultures. Feminism is destructive to cultures, and we see what it's doing to the Black community right now, and just to the United States in general. All of these single women running around, and I got to talk about my group, single Black women that are now aging out, and they don't have nobody, to take care of them and to watch after them and all this other stuff. And so their backup plan is to live with their children because they ain't got no man and they don't have a backup plan. Not saying all women, but it is what it is. Not everybody, wants to be married. I get all that too. But the fact of the matter is, we need to wake up as adults, and we are supposed to take care of each other, period. Settle down to a good choice. Simple as that. So anyway, I find it very ironic that one by one, people are waking up. They're kind of seeing what's going on. Inflation under Donald Trump has gone down 2.3%. China is being wrecked economically by the tariffs. And again, a lot of you guys aren't doing your research of what the tariffs are doing in China. Go to YouTube and just put in economic problems in China, and you're going to see the few videos that China lets out where hell's breaking loose over there. They pay in the good factory areas, they pay good workers about $2 an hour to manufacture things. And now people aren't being paid. Manufacturing shops are being closed. Economically, China's being screwed up really, really bad. So would you rather fight China with bullets and guns, or would you rather fight them economically with tariffs? I kind of knew, being somebody who's gone to Asia, this was going to affect China really, really bad, no matter how much they pump their chest. They depend on it. I'm not an economics major. My niece is an economics major, but I can say this. Hold on. I can say this when it comes to economics and what's going on. You have children, right? You raise your children and you want them to go off into the world, right? And everybody keeps talking about, oh, how unfair Donald tariffs are. Ask yourself this. You have a son and daughter who are living in your house. They're 36 years old and 34 years old, respectively. When are they supposed to go and fly their wings into the world? When? They're 30, they have all the tools. They have everything they need. They went to college, everything they need, but they won't seem to leave your house. But you're still paying for their cell phone. You're still paying for their clothes. You're still paying for their additional education if they wanted it. You're doing everything, but they keep staying at your house. Now, I want you to take that very thing that I just said and apply it to world nations, right? World War II. The nations around the world were devastated. The Marshall Plan came out, where we took our tax dollars and rebuilt these countries. Germany got rebuilt. The Philippines got rebuilt. Japan got rebuilt. Korea got rebuilt, right? All our dollars. Israel has been getting billions of dollars since their inception. And then we look at these countries that we keep giving billions of dollars to. They have universal health care. They have free education for their people. Because think about it, the billions of dollars that they're not spending, they're investing in their people. So we're giving our billions of dollars. We can't give universal health care to our people. We can't give free education to our people. Because nobody's throwing the United States any money, but we're throwing money to everybody else. When do we stop? Japan has been an economic powerhouse since the 1980s. Germany, economic powerhouse since the 1980s. When do we stop getting all this money? They are now standing on their own 2 feet and in some cases doing better than us. When do we say enough's enough? Now we're going to turn and start, fixing our infrastructure, fixing our people, and, doing for our people. I don't understand how people keep thinking for 60, 70 years now, we should still continue to give money to countries that are doing better than we are. It doesn't make sense. And then our adversarial enemy, China, we gave the patent book to so that they can copy all of our stuff and sell it back to us as junk. And because we sent our manufacturing to their country, they are raising the life expectancy of their people up, while our people just lose jobs and our lifestyle is going down, but other countries are going up. Economics. Make it make sense. Ask yourself, if you're a parent and you've got a child, how long are you going to support that child when that child has all the tools they need to make it on their own? How many of you guys right now are paying for your children's home? They went and bought a home and they say, okay, mom, dad, I want you to pay for it. How many of you guys are doing that? That is the same thing as what the United States is doing for all of these nations out here. And if you look at all of these developing nations, they're doing better than our own people. Make it make sense. So anyway, you guys, I just wanted to rant on that real quick. I will be at City Council tonight. Got a few things to say to the mayor. We have a great project that is coming up for those of you guys in the Inland Empire like me. Victoria Gardens. Finally, Moreno Valley, the developer of Victoria Gardens, has chosen Moreno Valley, the city that I live in, to build a Victoria Gardens type project, mixed use project, so that we don't have to leave our city and give our money to other entities. Because the only thing we have here in Moreno Valley, even the base, it's limited. You can't really go there if you don't have access to the base. The only thing we have here in Moreno Valley is warehouses. I have to go down to Ontario, which is nowhere near as big as Moreno Valley, to enjoy things. Samuel X, what's going on? Just thinking we have free miseducation indoctrination until 12th grade and then made to pay for a higher education we can't use. Brother, even though I'm a Catholic, I do follow Islam for its discipline, and I support Islam, and I do believe Islam is the only religion that Black people could adhere to and be successful with because of the way it's structured. I just wish more of us would open our eyes to common sense, because Islam is basic common sense. Things that have been set up by God is the way God wanted us to live and how to live. If we would just follow those basic tenets, we wouldn't have all the strife and stress. I just wish people would do that, or at least have knowledge of self. If you don't want to follow Islam, have knowledge of self. It's just crazy. But Samuel, what do you think about this? All those Black women, 106,000 Black women have been fired, and nobody's talking about the homes a lot of those women are going to lose because they're single and independent and whatever it is. And I'm not saying a lot of them are, but I'm just saying there's going to be a significant amount of homes that are going to go into foreclosure or whatever because it's non-sustainable. They've got us in a trick bag, and I don't know why people cannot see this. A targeted group of Black women. All the other groups' numbers remain the same, but this particular group lost 106 jobs. Samuel, it's almost like the white man said, that feminism that you Black women took a hold of and loved, great. You destroyed your family. You destroyed your community, or you helped to do it. You championed what we wanted you to do, and just like white supremacy, when they're done with their tools, they break them and just throw it away. And that's what I see that they did to Black women. They don't need them anymore. Well, nigga, y'all need to level up. Y'all need to get rid of. We're the most educated. We're the most in debt. We're the most employed. A man's got to make 6 figures. Well, ladies, now you're being fired from these 6-figure jobs that you guys have had. Now you've got 0 and no man. I mean, Samuel, am I the only one that sees this trick bag that's going on? The Joe Biden crime bill is still in effect, hasn't been repealed. Nobody's talking about it. So now the states are still encouraged to incarcerate as many Black men as possible. And you just got rid of our women's money potential, which basically is keeping us at slave levels. We don't own anything. What is going on, people? Wake up. Like in school days, wake up. This is targeted at Black people. The Democratic Party brought in another slave class. They brought in another slave class who, before they brought in these Mexicans and these Venezuelans and these Haitians, the people that did the entry-level jobs were the Blacks, us. We were the ones that did those jobs. Oh, now we can't do those jobs. I'm too good for those jobs. What? What? You're too good for jobs you never had? Oh my God. Oh, God, today. Samuel X says, the minister said, when you want to take a nation down, you do it through the woman. And when you want to lift a nation, you do it through the woman. A nation can rise no higher than the woman. Yeah. And then when you tell women that, especially the feminazis, they get upset. Why y'all always talking about women? exactly for what you just said and what the minister said. This is why we criticize our women so much. When you look like a whore and you dress like a whore and you act like a whore, how far is the culture going to rise? When you think you're better than the very men that help maintain your community and your civilization, how far are we going to rise? I don't know of any other group, Samuel, that tells their men they ain't shit. I don't hear the Hispanics say it. I don't hear the whites say it. And they don't need their men. I don't hear no other group saying that in general. But I do hear our women saying it. And this is the divide and the wedge and the plan that they've put in because they know being simple-minded and easily manipulated a black woman can be. Oh, Donovan, how can you say that? That's so disrespectful. Well, if what I'm saying is so untrue, why is it that you guys keep having babies for Ray Ray and Pookie in the lowest level of us in the community? You got movies that talk about this. People tell you leave Nook Nook alone, but yet you still go and spread your legs for the least in the community rather than the best. This is why I say your black women are easily manipulated. They talk a good game, but they don't practice a good game. So anyway, I just wanted to bring that up with you guys and kind of talk about that. A lot of people keep saying, you're the Black Yul Brynner, but you never show your skull. It's cold. I got fans running on in my house. It's cold in here. You know, it's when my hair doesn't grow out. And I shaved it last night. You know, you can see the little stubble right now. Well, that's the scarring, but you can see the little things coming out. But you know, we're getting one people at a time. I'm seeing more and more people look at what Donald Trump is doing, and they're very silent right now. These are the very people that were saying, oh, he's this, he's that, he's a criminal, he's this. But then you look at Letitia James, who did the exact same thing that Donald Trump was convicted on. Now they're talking a different tune. Either he's guilty of a crime that you did the exact same thing to. Hello? Samuel says, the Bible says a wise child maketh a glad father, but a foolish child is the heaviness of the mother. Yeah, yeah. Her being the first teacher. You know, she has, you know, more vested into the child, I would think. The father has a lot invested, but the more time spent is with the mother because she's the nurturer. That's her role. I don't understand why women think motherhood is such a terrible thing. It's one of the hardest jobs, but it's also one of the most rewarding jobs, I would think. It's crazy. It's crazy. Dimitri and I will be on in a few minutes, maybe about 30 minutes or so. You guys don't forget to tune in to that. It's going to be very interesting. I will be talking at City Council tonight, so if you don't get the chance to see it live on YouTube, you can see it on the playback. You know, I'm gonna post it up here. I don't know what I'm going to say. I don't know what I need to say. I know I have something I need to say, but you guys will see it a little bit later on. You guys, please, grassroots. There is no excuse for you not to know what's going on in your city. Everything is posted online. You got smartphones in your hands. You can email your city clerk, put it on the public record, your opinion. All of these things you guys can do. You guys can tell me about Kamala Harris. You can tell me about Donald Trump. You can tell me about all of these national politicians, but you can't tell me who represents you. You can't tell me who the district of your county is. You can't tell me who your local judge is. And those are the people that affect you directly and more. Samuel says, lastly, it says, how can you bind a strong man's house until you bind the strong man? The enemy wants to keep us divided to have access to our women, the booty or prize of war. Yeah, exactly. Like I said, I follow Islam very, very strongly. I studied it when I was in the Middle East. That's why I changed my name to Sadiq, even though I'm a Catholic. It was like, why did you change your name? Because when I was in the Middle East, the Muslims didn't want to talk to the white guys, and so they would talk to me because they thought the white guys would just like lie. White man, he's gonna lie. Everybody knows that. So they would talk to me because I was a straight shooter, and they named me Sadiq, which, from my understanding, means somebody that speaks truth or something like that. I know it has something to do with truth, and that's what they named me. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna change my name, and live by that. Speak the truth, regardless. So I'll be speaking at City Council, Demetra K, in about 30 minutes. I got to squeeze the gym in there somewhere. If I don't go there, I'll go right after City Council. And Benny, the bad pup, is right under me. I took him walking, and oh my God, I got to play fetch with him to tire him out, and it's just crazy. But join us a little bit later. But one by one, people are waking up, and I notice a lot of people are silent as Donald. There ain't no slave patrols running around. We're not in chains. The lies of the Democratic Party are coming out. Where are you guys that were crashing out for the Democratic Party? Where are you guys at? It's gotten that bad. And, I can't speak for anybody. I can speak for myself. When I am wrong, I have no problem admitting when I'm wrong. Yeah, babe, I was wrong. What's for dinner? It's just, to me, it's just that simple. Yeah, and whatever. Yeah, okay. I was wrong. What's for dinner? But you got people here who will not open their mind and say, is it possible? I was wrong. One thing I knew I was right about is when you're at the bottom of an economic system like Black people are in this country, it doesn't matter if a Donald Trump happens. Everybody's still partying. Everybody's still going on their cruises. Everybody's still acting a damn fool in the Black community. They're still getting their nails did. Still putting on their hair hats. It is what it is. Check us out in 30 minutes, you guys. We will be back. Talk to you guys a little bit mañana.